powerful storm has tackled the west area of China, caused widespread damage, travel chaos, and forced thousands to evacuate from their homes. The storm packed heavy rain, the strong winds, and affected several regions across the country, particularly along China's eastern and southern coasts. In the province of Fujian, more than 300,000 people were evacuated from the storm, made a landfall with the wind speed up to 115 km per hour. Coastal cities including Xiamen and Zhuangzhou have a significant flooding, where the streets turned into rivers and homes inundated. Local authority issued a high-level warning, advised residents to remain indoors and suspend non-essential travel activities. Schools and businesses were closed, and transportation networks were severely disrupted. The Chinese government has mobilized emergency teams to assist with the hardest hit area, displaced rescue workers to help evacuate those trapped in the flooded homes and provide medical assistance. In some regions, helicopters have been used to arrive people to safety, while the soldiers have been displaced to reinforce embankment along the slower rivers. In the financial hub in Shanghai, the storm caused major transport disruption, with hundreds of flights cancelled and trade service suspended. Shanghai Penghu Airport and businesses the world reported several days in a heavy rainfall in the city. Authority also closed public parks to tourist sites and precautionary measures. Further south, the Guangdong province was also impacted, with a heavy rainfall triggered landslides in mountains area. Villages and towns near the city Shenzhen have been cut off due to landslides, hampering rescue efforts. Provincial authority have warned to the risk of further landslides and flooding as the storm continues in the parts of inland. China's meteorological service warning the storm could persist for several more days, where the effect potentially exceeded inland, the city from the coast including Hunan and Jinggu. They are also concerned about the impact of the country's agriculture region to act as extensive flooding threatens groups to rural area and Jiangsu and Hunan province. The storm continued to rage. China's authorities are urging citizens to stay vigilant, to follow official advisories closely. While the full extent of the damage is still being assessed, it is clear that the storm has left the trail of destruction in its wake. As the storm continued to move across China, the extent of the devastation is becoming clear. With the several provinces grappling with the torrential rain, flooding, and high winds, millions of people have been affected by the storm roar. Emergency services are stretched too thin, and the rescue operations are being conducted across multiple regions. In Jiangsu province, authorities are particularly concerned about the swiftly Zhengzhou River, where it already is dangerous at high level. The river, which flows through the some of China's most powerful region, is a vital lifeline for agriculture and industry. However, the storm continued to dump heavy rain. There is severe flooding, landslide, threatening homes, businesses, and farmland. In response, emergency food control measures should have been implemented. The local government are recovering releases the water various key area. Meanwhile, the economic toll of the storm is bearing them out. In addition, the widespread travel disruption and businesses closed the storm have caused significant damage to infrastructure. In Shenzhen province, home to many of China's major manufacturing hubs, reports suggest that the factories and industrial parks have been flooded, leaving of millions of dollars as losers. Roads and bridges have been washed out, the field hampering relief force and isolated affected communities. The agriculture sector is key part of the China economy, has also been severely impacted. In Hunan and Anhui province, thousands of hectares and farmland have been submerged, and the crops such as rice, corn, and vegetables destroyed. Farmers already facing pressure from the area where the events and now facing for the financial hardship where the concert and food pieces of could rise coming month due to loss and harvest. China's central government is pledging to swift response to disaster, with President Xi Jinping calling to all out effort to protect life and minimize damage. Beijing and deployed additional rescue team from the People's Liberation Army and increasing funding to emergency relief. International aid groups have offered assistance, though China has yet to relieve significant foreign aid. Neighboring countries, particularly Japan and South Korea, have been experiencing solidarity with China as to break the potential storm impact in the coming days.